It's all out of order, but it's okay. I'm gonna fix it in the playlist. So I'm reading How to Think Like a Millionaire. I'm a I made a playlist. In the playlist. I'm gonna break all the chapters down. It's 7 chapters. Right now, I'm reading chapter 1, but I also have to read the introduction. But don't worry, like I said, I'm gonna fix it all up and organize it in the playlist. So if you're interested in this, you can go and listen. I think I started on chapter 4, but I want to finish this book and then we're gonna move to another book. Chapter 1. Where do I start? The secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret of getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming task into small, manageable tasks and then starting on the first one. Mark Twain. Socrates, the Greek philosopher, was profoundly aware of the weakness in his own nature. Yet he came to realize that people are evolving beings, capable of changing and growing toward an ideal. People can always improve themselves. That is part of our greatness. And that ability to improve ourselves can develop at any moment in life. Believe you can be successful. You have to believe you can be successful before you will ever succeed. Sounds like a cliche, doesn't it? But take time to stop and think about it. Where else can you begin? Your beliefs create your life experience. It's not the other way around. And no matter what you believe before, you can change your beliefs in your life. It's impossible to create success without believing deeply that you are capable of being successful. It's impossible to live abundantly without believing that you deserve abundance. Our education, society, and other forms of mental conditioning are all, unfortunately, more pessimistic than optimistic. How often has someone told you not to waste your time on pipe dreams, that you have to be realistic, that you can't have what you want? Because we hear this so often and as a result, believe it to be true. Kind of like an affirmation, right? Wealth always seems reserved for the fortunate few. Success seems an exclusive party to which we are all cordially not invited. But this is simply not true. If success and prosperity are an exclusive club, it's because they are so in the minds of people whose attitudes bar their own entry. Every successful person at some point came to believe that one day he or she would be successful. Your beliefs about success are, no doubt, deeply ingrained, and you have to be open to changing them before you will ever succeed. Examine your beliefs to see how they have affected your life. Many people needlessly sabotage themselves because of unexamined core beliefs about how the world operates. Mark Allen sums it up in Visionary Business. So that part about unexamined core beliefs, that's like shadow work. You know how you hear people talking about shadow work? That's like inner child work. You know, when you go inside yourself, when you go within yourself, you ask yourself questions. Why do I feel this way? What made me feel this way? What influenced me? Who influenced me? Why? It's important. In some cases, critically important to regularly take time to examine our lives. The first thing to do is to take a look at our past and clearly and honestly as we can and discover the important events and influence that have shaped our lives. Some of these shaping events have led to very good core beliefs, and those moments should be remembered. And those beliefs should be encouraged and supported. All of us have had someone in our lives who saw our potential and supported us in one way or another. We all had glimpses of our genius as children, and we all had other forces that have sought to crush our genius through doubt, through cynicism, through lack of faith. We need to reflect on these things occasionally. Those shaping moments that have had a negative impact on us need to be looked at, and we need to discover the negative core beliefs we formed as a result. Once those beliefs are identified, they can be let go of because they aren't true. They're simply self-fulfilling things that become true if we believe them. This is the process of becoming conscious. Becoming aware of the force that drives us and learning how to act on those forces, how to shape our destiny, how to become powerful, how to achieve what we want in life. What are your beliefs about success? Don't be afraid to analyze your thoughts more closely. You may be surprised at the barriers you have put between yourself and success. Once you think about it, when you realize that you can change even your most deeply held beliefs, you can come to see that not only is it possible for you to become as successful as you would like in all areas of your life, but also that it's easier, much easier than you have ever dreamed possible. In fact, dozens of opportunities appear to you every day. Profitable, profitable ideas flash through your mind, but you usually let them slip away without pursuing them with concrete action. The art of self-suggestion, which is discussed throughout this book, helps you discover how to develop your powers of intuition, the sixth sense for success. You already have these qualities, but you may not be fully aware of their existence. You only need to access them, and you can quite easily. Succeeding is no harder than failing. For most people, failure has become a way of life. Failure is a hard habit to break. After all, our social climate has given us high expectations, but our social conditioning has given us a low morale. It's a vicious cycle. In order to become successful, we have to understand that success is basically no more difficult than failure. It's simply based on a different kind of mental programming, one to which the subconscious mind is not inherently opposed. Doesn't every failure involve a highly complex combination of circumstances? Consider what it takes to miss perfect opportunities, to misfire every time you attempt something, to avoid meeting the people who can help you on your path to success, to dismiss your ideas as useless when they could lead to something worthwhile, and to continually repeat the motions that lead to defeat. It's quite an achievement to fail. And yet, the subconscious mind accepts defeat as natural. Throughout this book, we analyze the vital role the subconscious plays in manifesting success. When we understand how to get the power of our subconscious mind working on success rather than failure, we will succeed. It is inevitable. We create all sorts of excuses to block our success. How many of these thoughts have crept into your mind? Everything was much easier in the good old days. This excuse is proven wrong every single day of the year. While negative, short-sighted people join on about unemployment, downsizing, and outsourcing, thousands of small businesses start to flourish every year. Thousands globally. Millions of people become millionaires every year. Think of the movies produced, the books published, the new opportunities in computer science and internet media. Think of the parts of the world that are opening to free trade. Becoming successful is not only possible today, it's actually easier than it used to be. The entire world is ours to offer our new ideas, products, services, whatever gift we have to give. To give. To give. Success depends far less on outside circumstances than our mental attitude, our beliefs about ourselves and the world. I'm too young. Tell this to Debbie Fields, founder and owner of Miss Fields Cookies, who was in her 20s when she achieved success. Or Steve Jobs, founder of Apple Computers, who made his first million when he was 23. He was his first 10 million at 24 and his first 100 million at 25. There is an old saying, a youth with a single aim in life arrives early at the harvest. Youth is more often than not an asset. Lack of experience can be compensated for by boldness, daring, instinct, and originality. History shows that most successful people started out completely inexperienced and learned as they went along. Another thing I want to say, because y'all know how they talk about the Illuminati, right? You know, it don't matter. So what? You people like, oh, they sold. Man, if that so and so didn't get up and do what they had to do, they wouldn't be successful. Whether they sold or not. But that's besides the point. I don't believe in it. I don't subscribe to that no more. Hold on, give me a second. Here go the next one. Here go the next excuse. I'm too old. Colonel Sanders and Georgia O'Keeffe would disagree. Napoleon Hill's survey of the wealthy showed that many successful people don't reach their goals until midlife and beyond. Hello, Desmond. It could be that this is the time of reaping the benefits of a series of earlier efforts. While many others are thinking of retirement, work does not kill. Idleness, on the other hand, is often deadly. People who take early retirement often die younger than those who keep working. The fact remains that many people begin a second or third career, sometimes the most successful of all, late in life. Age is irrelevant. Your years of experience, even if you have failed, are priceless to you. I have no capital. Most people don't in the beginning. Money isn't essential when we start out. A good creative idea or business idea is a positive mental outlook or essential. Everyone in the world has at least one talent, one passion, one hobby that can be profitable if applied correctly. Contrary to popular belief, there is no shortage of money in the world. The money for launching ideas and furthering good in our world is always available. Poverty seems to be a tradition in far too many families, an inherited trait like the color of one's hair or eyes passed down from generation to generation. It's often more difficult for people whose families have always been poor to imagine that one day they can become rich. This is very true. Now, this is very true. I grew up in the hood, so I know they really think it's impossible, but let's continue. The image we get in ourselves and of life in general is often tinged with hopelessness and pessimism. And the role models that surround us are not always very inspiring. But there are so many exceptions to this. Look at Charlie Chaplin, for example, one of history's wealthiest actors. He spent his youth in poverty, wandering the streets of London. The humiliation of poverty and early contact with life's harsh realities have, in many cases, spurred people onto great achievement. I'm not educated. Thomas Edison left school before the age of 16. Microsoft's Bill Gates is a college dropout. Even though many successful people weren't educated in the formal sense, they did acquire an in-depth knowledge of the industry in which they made their fortunes. I mean, they did their homework, they did their work. So what? I didn't go to college, but I went and studied how to do this. I know how to do this better than all of y'all who did go to college because I put more time in than y'all did. It's not ego. It's just true. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the people who, Bill Gates, he got the right to say that. What? I don't have any special talent. Many successful people displayed no early signs of being destined for fame, fortune, and fulfillment. J. Paul Getty said, I most certainly was not born a businessman. Many people talk themselves into believing that they don't have an inborn talent or what it takes to change their lives. They go to great lengths to justify their lack of success. But in reality, everyone in the world has some talent, some kind of gift. Once we discover our own unique gift to give, it becomes our purpose to develop it. And doing so leads to our success. So you have to develop. How do you develop? You put the time in. You go get the books. You go to the seminar. You go to the lecture. You go talk to people who know about it. You ask questions from people who know. What you asking your next door neighbor for? He don't know nothing about building rocket ships. He just gonna tell you what he heard from somebody else. You had to go talk to somebody that know how to build rocket ships. Get some books about rocket ships, and every day just read something. Like, it's frustrating at first. You're gonna be like, man, I don't get this stuff. I didn't get this stuff when I first started reading. I was like, what are they talking about? Why are they talking like this? Now I'm like, oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I knew that. I've been saying that. It just started clicking. I don't have the energy it takes. There is often an important difference between those who succeed and those who fail. Their levels of energy. Every action we take requires a minimum amount of energy, especially mental or psychic energy. Low vitality inevitably breeds low motivation. This appears to be another inescapable vicious cycle. Appears to be. But all it takes is a tiny spark to ignite the resources of energy that lie dormant within us. The potential energy we all have is enormous. In many people, it is hibernating, waiting to be activated. Yet, at the same time, it takes much more energy to do something we don't like than something we enjoy. Think of the energy you have and how time slips away when you are absorbed in your favorite project. When we do what truly interests and motivates us, the energy flows easily and effortlessly. I'm afraid of failure. We're born with two fears: falling and loud noises. I don't even think some babies are afraid of that, but all other fears are acquired. Unfortunately, the fear of failure is powerful and widespread, and it is paralyzing. Often deeply embedded within us, it results from past failures. That's why you let stuff go. That's why you forgive yourself. From a lack of confidence bred unknowingly by our parents, and it's enforced by society's general negative short-sighted thinking. The fear of failure is sometimes expressed overtly, but it's most often unconscious and subtly disguised. People don't admit they are afraid of failure. Instead, they denigrate others for building castles in the air, and they scorn dreams and creative ideas. They are champion excuse makers, family obligations, problems, lack of time, lack of money. But wouldn't the family prefer a spouse or parent who is content with his or her work? That's funny that book say that, because I was just talking to somebody about this at work, and they were like, "Oh, we got to do what we got to do. I got to take care of my kids." I was like, "I understand, but don't you think your kids want to see you happy?" No. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Wouldn't time be better spent in creative expression? Wouldn't creating fulfillment resolve many problems? Then there are the if only people. If only their boss would notice them. If only they could come up with a good idea. If only they had more talent, ability, time, money, or luck. If only they had been born in different circumstances or under another astrology sign. And they funny. Obviously, if you never try anything, chances are you will never fail. But then you are not likely to succeed either. Success doesn't miraculously appear out of the blue. It's always the result of concrete action and a positive mental attitude. Thomas Edison made hundreds, some say thousands, of attempts before perfecting the incandescent light bulb. Abraham Lincoln lost 18 elections before becoming president of the United States. We're not singing the praises of failure, but we know through experience that every personal defeat can be an education in itself, at least if it's accepted with an open mind. You're right. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. And stay positive, so you can create a positive reality. If you negative all the time, what you think gonna happen? All I've done is fail. One underlying reason for many people's paralyzing fear of failure is that they have already failed, or at least believe they were unsuccessful in the past. Each new setback reinforces this feeling and undermines their self-confidence. People start with one failure and see themselves as losers, and this in turn leads inevitably to more abrupt attempts. These failures reinforce their loser mentality, and soon it becomes habitual. They end up believing that life is a series of hard knocks, defeats, struggles, and frustrations. How many people y'all know like that? I was like that. Why have you failed until now? Maybe you wanted to fail, at least on some level, possibly subconsciously. If the success you're entitled to always slips through your fingers, ask yourself why you've condemned yourself to mediocrity. To mediocrity. And assure yourself that even the strongest, most powerful negative programming can be changed quickly and completely. Once you examine it closely, you may be surprised at your inner resistance to success. You may be surprised at your negative inner monologue, which most people relentlessly repeat out of habit. In their mind, they just, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is too hard. Oh, this is a shame. These people trying to stop me, man. All day. All day long. Here is an important point. Your mind is always working for your welfare. It just may be working for a long, outmoded goal. For instance, maybe your high energy or enthusiasm for something as a child brought harsh criticism from your parents, siblings, family, friends. You very quickly learn to be quiet and restrained. But now, as an adult, there's no reason to remain unseen and unheard. Yet, no one told your subconscious mind. And this is true because I used to talk a lot and people used to be, oh, you talking too much. You think you so smart. Stop being smart. Stop talking back. Stop talking in the classroom. And I was like, all right, all right. And then they were like, why you so quiet? Y'all forgot y'all told me to be quiet. Hold on, let's get it. Look at it this way. Our failures should be seen as stepping stones that bring us closer to our goal. Our failures give us tremendous feedback. Isn't it true that with each perceived failure we learn something of value? Stop talking, all right, all right. Now they mad. Now he's mad because I don't be talking. Now they mad again because I'm talking now. they need to make up their mind, but you know what? I don't care no more. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to live this life. I'm going to have fun. There's no more of this sad stuff. No more of this poor mindset. It's time to have some fun around here. Failure is our own way of learning and growing. In reality, there is no such thing as failure. It's just part of our education on the way to our inevitable success, if we look at it that way. Your situation will not improve if you do nothing about it. Of course, this is obvious, but then why are so many people waiting for their big break, or to win the lottery, or for some other miracle, which you can win the lottery, but that's another story for another day. Well, most people live with the idea that everything will magically work out. And then comes disappointment. Success isn't handed to us on a silver platter. We have to take action. We have to challenge our old beliefs, and we have to risk failure. What do most people do when they need money? Some borrow and get deeper in debt. Others tighten their belts and adapt their needs to their meager income, which I'm cool, man. I need big bucks. I got big bucks. Instead of challenging themselves in their world to fulfill their dreams, most people limit their dreams to their perceptions of the world's constraints. They have a passive wait and see attitude. Let's see if this miracle happens. And most often, it doesn't happen. Our lives reflect our beliefs. Unlimited success comes from an unlimited belief system. To improve your financial situation, to track down a job, to get a raise in your salary, to double your income, to become fit and healthy, healthy. You have to passionately want to improve your life. You have to take action, adopt precise measures, and change your attitude. This has to become a fixed objective. The overriding desire is mandatory to create the life you want. Determination and will are all the strength you need. An entrepreneur must first have a clear vision of what he or she wants. A mere dream of what you want is not adequate. Instead, cultivate a desire so strong and a vision so clear that they become part of your subconscious mind. So many people honestly desire to improve their lives, but still fail in their attempts to become successful. The reason is that they have mistaken wishing for wanting. Wishful thinking is far more common than really wanting something. A wish is weak, changeable, and passive. It's not strong enough to overcome procrastination or other obstacles that may arise in the process of getting what you want. Really wanting something is a spur to action. It does not tolerate delays. It bypasses obstacles. It gives us wings to fly. One day, a wise man was asked by a disciple what it took to obtain wisdom. The sage led the disciple to a river. And hey, these sages and gurus be tripping. After a few seconds, his anxious follower began struggling, afraid he was going to drown. But the teacher continued to hold his head under water. The student struggled even harder. Finally, the wise man let him go just before he would have drowned and asked him, when your head was underwater, what did you want most? To breathe, he said. Well, there you have it. That's exactly how much you have to want wisdom. And for those of us seeking to improve our lives, that's how much we must want success. Life gives you what you sincerely want. James Allen wrote in his classic book, As You Think. If you cherish a vision, a lofty ideal in your heart, you will realize it. You will become as great as your dominant aspiration. If you content yourself with mediocrity, that is what you will have, my friends. Since you're reading this book or listening to this video, you're probably not completely satisfied with your situation. But this dissatisfaction is a gift, as there is something intensely motivating about dissatisfaction. It fuels dreams. As we mentioned before, many successful people had difficult, impoverished childhoods. They felt humiliated. Their desire to rise above poverty and low social status was so intense that it propelled them toward their dreams. It is important to bear in mind, however, that even if you have high aspirations, you will still encounter obstacles and challenges. Even with such strong desires, circumstances will change. Inamori says, still do not use these circumstances as excuses. Your determination should be so strong as to overcome any obstacle, foreseen or unforeseen. The dreams you carry and nourish in your heart are your most noble part. Those who stop dreaming, those who ignore their most intense yearning, are living a life of emptiness and frustration. And you can tell, can't you? Can't you tell? Just look around at all the people and you can tell they frustrated, which is okay. They don't have to stay that way. Don't let this happen to you. Change your life by daring to let yourself be carried away by your dreams and to live out your dreams to the fullest. This philosophy may appear naive. It is without naivety. Without the innocence of dreams, nothing great would have ever been created in this world. Humans would not fly. Epic films would not have been made. Ford would have created the Ford would not have created the mass-produced automobile. Edison wouldn't have lit the world. A serious outlook, cynicism, and even strictly rational thought are great obstacles to success. We aren't arguing in favor of extravagant, irrational behavior. Far from it. The truth is, at the root of every great discovery and exceptional success story lies a dream, an aspiration, a desire. If you study rich and famous, wealthy people, that's what you're gonna see: a dream, an aspiration, a desire. This desire transcends cynicism and strictly rational thought. Within your deepest desires and highest dreams are the keys to your success. Summary and recommended action. To sum up this first chapter, there are four initial conditions to fulfill in order to become successful. 1. Believe you will be successful. The first prerequisite is having faith, believing that you can attain success, believing in yourself. This belief can be created by using self-suggestion affirmations to change your old programming. If you don't believe in yourself or your ideas, they will never convince anyone else to believe in them. You will never convince anyone else to believe in them. Success never comes out of the blue, handed to you on a silver platter. The obstacles you'll have to overcome, the difficulties you inevitably meet, and the sustained effort you need to make all require a good dose of faith to spur you on. Number 2, be aware that your situation will not magically change if you do nothing about it. Set a clear goal and take whatever steps you can each week to move a little closer to the goal. Great success is a result of great many small steps. It doesn't require taking huge, scary leaps. It only requires taking the next obvious step in front of you. Number 3, passionately desire to improve your life. Make a list of the excuses and the inner monologues that keep success at bay. This stage is absolutely essential. It makes you aware of your limiting beliefs. Once you know them, you can overcome them. Successful people have learned to release doubt from their minds. They have tremendous faith in both themselves and in their plans, despite any opposition they may face. Number 4, dare to dream and to dream great dreams. Within your deepest desires and highest dreams are the keys to success. Your subconscious mind knows only those limitations you have imposed upon it through your own limiting beliefs. And those beliefs can be changed using the tools in this book. So basically, you want to change your way of thinking. You want to change the way you speak to yourself. You want to change the way you treat yourself. You want to change the way you feel about yourself. Because we do create our own reality. You can't deny it. Everything that was created started with what? What did it start with? Everything, anything. It started with an idea, which is a thought and a feeling. So, when God created the world, what did God say? Well, what did God say? What's one of the things God said? God said, let there be light. And what happened? The lights came on. It's power in the words. So be careful with the words you use. Peace out, y'all. Have a nice day. Especially with the word you use on yourself, most importantly. And other people too. But don't talk bad about yourself. Love. Have a nice day. I'll see y'all next time, my friends.